Hello, my name is Kasia Szczepaniak, and this is a series called Polish New Woman at the Edges of the World, which is introducing a number of precisely 10 women from the interwar period that were high achievers and very interesting figures from those periods, and who acted also abroad. And today you will have a chance to meet the queen of Polish athletes, Halina Konopacka. Halina Konopacka is a very important figure because she was a really versatile female and she won for the newly reborn country as Poland regained her independence in 1918. Konopacka won the first gold medal for the Polish team in 1928. And this was a huge achievement, not only personal, but for the country, a young country that could, thanks to this success, was noticed in the international arena. So Konopacka was born at the beginning of the century. So she was 28 when she won the gold medal, as the Olympics were held in Amsterdam at that time. Of course, beforehand, she trained very successfully with other athletes. We can see some of them also in these pictures that were provided by the Museum of Sport and Tourism in Warsaw. She was successful in many different disciplines. She was also very keen on horse riding, a huge fan of cars, which was not that common during that period. But she was passionate, and that's what she also mentioned when asked about her numerous successes. She said that it was about the passion, that she always loved what she was doing. She was not only skillful, talented in many ways. You will see more of her talents in a moment. Now we are concentrating on sports. But she was also a very attractive person. So not only did she win a gold medal, she won gold during the Olympic Games in Amsterdam, but she was also chosen as the most popular sports star, and by the photographers, reporters. So she was also loved by people here in Poland at that time, and some sources say that she was next. There were two most popular public figures in the interwar period. It was Piłsudski and Konopacka, and their images could be seen in many houses, maybe not next to each other, but definitely exposed. And I'm taking this opportunity here to encourage you to do more search on your own if you wish. You can see the websites provided where you can see more images of Konopacka. These are National Digital Archives, Polish National Archives, where you can just enter the name of her or any other person you are interested in, and you can do your own search. And you can see also more interesting colored pictures, because most of these pictures will be black and white, but the colored pictures are also available at this Polish website sportowcy.niepodległej.pl. And this is a great advantage to have a look at images of sports people from that era, from the interwar period, but colored, so more lively, as we can see Konopacka here. And you may also have a look at the Olympics.com, where obviously Konopacka is mentioned next to other important figures. And maybe one more thing here to pay attention to. A very, as you may see, she is wearing white and red because these are the national colors of Poland. However, she was also very keen on head covers, so she would often wear a red beret. So this it's handmade. It's this passion for those hats and other head covers were inherited, so to say. She took it after her mom, as it is said, and you may see her quite often wearing that in the pictures. And as I mentioned, she was a versatile and talented in many ways and admired. So here, on the one hand, we have the bust by Konopacka, made by a Polish artist, Zofia Trzcińska-Kamińska. But we can also have a look at the act made by Konopacka herself in the 30s. So she was experimenting also with art. So her passions spread also into that field. And one more example from her artworks, or actually two pictures. But they were created later. These are the 60s, when she already lived in the US, because that was her second home eventually, as she left Poland during the World War II, but we'll come to that in a moment. Here we can see her also in a different role. She was part of at some point, she married in 1928. She married Ignacy Matuszewski, who soon became the Treasury Minister of the Second Polish Republic. So she took active part in public life, in diplomatic circles. She could be seen quite often. And also in 1931, she withdrew from the sports life as she decided that it will be a better decision, a better step this way. But she remained active. So she could be seen on the covers of various magazines. Then she also was an editor of the magazine you can see on the left, Start, and so that was her. That's how she transferred her interest within sports field. Luckily, there are quite a few sources that we can have a look at, we can explore. Most of them will be in Polish, and here we can see her in another discipline, and that's another famous picture that was also taken for a book cover. And there's another important factor from her life that it's worth remembering, and it's connected with her presence in the political life. Together with her husband Matuszewski, in September 1939, right after the outbreak of war. They organized, and she actively took part in that. They organized a convoy that was to take away the Polish gold from the Polish treasury abroad, eventually to France. However, the trip was long and complicated, as you may guess. So the mission was successful. So they reached France, where they stayed for a while, and this gold, nearly 80 tons of gold, they were there to help the Polish government abroad. Yet soon the French were defeated, and France surrendered. to the Nazis, and they have to, Konopacka and her husband left to Spain, but they didn't stay there long, and eventually they went to the state, where they remained for the rest of their lives. Still, and again here you can see sources available in Polish, but I put them because of the content. So the golden the story of gold is described in one of them. And below, you've got two links that you may take advantage of. You can, where there is the story describing the events, the mission they undertook in English, and another reference to the Olympics, where we have the video, and it's a direct translation of the book, the other book title, Z radości życia in Polish, and the joy of life. Yes, because definitely she was a person who would enjoy life in many ways, but also she served the country very well. Another interesting source is provided by the Museum of Sport and Tourism based in Warsaw, and it was an album prepared for the 100th anniversary of regaining by Poland independence. And one more link for you to take a look at, again from the same source. I know it's just a glimpse, but I hope it will serve as an inspiration and motivation for you to do your own search, because in case of Konopacka, as I said, luckily we have more sources available, and she is definitely a person to remember and to follow, to take as an inspiration. When you find a moment, just visit the other episodes from our series. I'm sure some of the females will also inspire you, and you'll find them very engaging and successful, even though they are less known than Konopacka. Thank you very much.